Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to take a dive on into Cults of RuneQuest, the Earth Goddesses from Chaosium Inc. It's written by Greg Stafford and Jeff Richard. This 144-page hardcover is available now. Carries an MSRP of $37.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $18.99. Should mention, if you order from Chaosium Inc., if you're getting the physical book, you'll get the PDF absolutely free as well, but it has to be ordered from Chaosium Inc. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got the Earth Goddesses. So let me get the shrink wrap off of here. A few things I do want to mention before we jump on in. First of all, the fine folks over at Chaosium Inc. were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's very important that you know that. We're not going to look at each and every page within the Earth Goddesses, but I do want to give you a very good feel for what this volume contains. Now, lastly, I have seen some of the artwork for the Cults of RuneQuest series. It is possible that we could encounter some images that feature nudity. Do want to point that out. I don't want anybody to freak out if we suddenly see a topless goddess. And I will point out that artwork is not meant to titillate. It's really because this is a Bronze Age kind of era as far as a fantasy setting. And if you look at our own historical deities back during our own Bronze Age, you will see a lot of sculptures of both gods and goddesses nude. So I think that's what the reflection of is here. So let's take a look at the back. Within the earth is life. Within the earth is death. Cults of RuneQuest, the Earth Goddesses, is the player's guide to the Earth Pantheon of Glorantha. This book covers the mythology of the Earth Pantheon of gods and provides mechanics for each of their cults to create your own RuneQuest adventurer. And it's going to tell us exactly what we've got in the book, but I'm not going to read that because we're going to look inside. Should also mention that I just recently shared a first look at Cults of RuneQuest, the Lightbringers. So if you are interested in checking that book out, by all means, take a peek at that video. So let's jump on in. So as I mentioned, we've got Greg Stafford and Jeff Richard as our writers, and we have additional credit for the art team. So Loic Musi and Agatha Pithag, as well as Simon Cogswell. And yes, I know I mispronounced those first two names. I probably butchered them pretty badly. So additional credits there as well. So we're going to jump on in the introduction. What is in this book? The supplement describes 16 different Gloranthan cults and deities for the RuneQuest role-playing game. Myths, history, organization, associate cults, and rules-oriented information are given for each cult. Sufficient information is provided for players or game masters to use all these cults. This book is one in a series of books that give a detailed overview of Gloranthan mythology and religion for RuneQuest. If you are looking to learn more about RuneQuest, if you're not overly familiar with the fantastic role-playing game, I do have quite a few videos covering RuneQuest. I've got reviews of the core set, the starter set, as well as other releases. There are a series of books that are now being released, Cults of RuneQuest, which are going to delve into the various different pantheons. I should mention you don't need to pick up all of them. I think there's going to be 10 volumes that actually cover the cults. I did share a look at the kind of encyclopedia that was the first release. And I got to say, I was very impressed fact, there was a lot of artwork in there. I was kind of surprised. So we're going to get a little bit of a breakdown of the earth goddesses. So here we have the inhabitants of Esrolia in the Holy Country have always been earth worshippers, even in the darkness and the shadows of their prehistory. In the Second Age, they were strongly influenced by the god learners and became heir to their systemization of deities and recognition of patterns. The earth system has spread all over the world, but in some places, certain parts are stressed more than others according to the needs and nature of the worshippers. So we get a breakdown of the earth pantheon and the various different gods and goddesses. There are quite a few here. And then we've got the labeling. So we had this image previously. So now it's going to tell you, okay, so who are each of those being represented? We also have a genealogy as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to kind of discuss in a tiny bit of detail who each of these deities are. And then I'll actually pick one of the deities and we'll actually take a deeper dive to see how exactly each of these cults are presented. What is the information that's contained within? So we have Ernalda, the Earth Mother and Queen. Ernalda is the bountiful mother of life and the most favored of all the earth goddesses. Reverence for her should stem from every living creature. Plants and animals, both wild and domestic, are her children. She is fruitful and generous. She is the goddess of women, female sexuality, community, and all the things that live on and in the earth. She is the earth queen, the life giver, the beautiful one, the great green lady, source of beauty, the giver, the sustainer, wife of many, supporter of all, and midwife of time. Her worship is of vast importance everywhere, even if her priestesses do not always possess direct political power. And we're going to see that we've got a good amount of page space devoted to the deities. Now, of course, we're going to see she is the mother of the earth goddesses, so she's going to have the most page space devoted to her. We have Aldria. Take it a guess. Hey, it's my shtick. You know, I mispronounce all these fictional people, places, and things. So this is the goddess of the woods. This goddess rules in all regions where trees dominate, including evergreen forests, deciduous woodlands, and tropical jungle. She commands everything within the woods, including plants, animals, wells, and springs, bright glades, and dappled glens, emptiness and shadow, ghosts, and terrifying spirits. Aldria is also mother of elves and dryads, who are her servants in the forests. In an ancient time referred to as the Green Age, Aldria and the elves ruled all the world. She is now bitter about the loss of her preeminence, which explains why woods are intrinsically creepy to much of mankind. So it looks like she has quite a bit. Oh, in fact, we get some information about the elves, too, the elf story. Ezrelia, goddess of wealth and fortune. Ezrelia is the keeper and distributor of all treasures. She hoards all good things away from the sight of mortals and makes them available only to those who treat her with respect and reverence. She is the goddess of deep earth and resides far beneath the surface. Babista Gore, the avenging daughter. Babista Gore is the avenging daughter of the Earth Mother. Her axe-wielding warrior women are the sacred guardians of the temples of Ernalda and other earth goddesses. They defend temples and hunt down kinslayers, oath breakers, and other vile criminals whose actions have harmed the temples they guard. So let's take a closer look. We'll use this deity here. So we're going to get mythos and history. So we're going to get a bit of information about this deity before time, and then since time began. Some iconography. We get the nature of the cult. Most earth goddesses are peaceful, loath to directly avenge wrongs or to seek out foes. So Babeaster Gore performs these tasks for them. Babeaster Gore is the most important war deity that has ties to the earth. So earth cultists seek her out when battle seems imminent. She's also goddess renowned for her ferocity, and many warriors seek her out for that alone. We had some information about the organization of the cult, lay membership, initiate membership, and then rune lords, axe maidens, cults which are subservient, associated cults, and then we get miscellaneous notes. We also will see with some of these deities new magic, so new rune magic to be utilized. So you want to keep in mind, if you're not overly familiar with RuneQuest, you don't have to be just a member of a single cult. There can be different deities that you worship. So here we have Caladra and Erlian, the Volcano Twins. The Volcano Twins are the center of the peculiar faith of Caladraland and the southwestern portion of the Holy Country. So obviously, volcanoes. So as I was just mentioning, here's some rune magic. So if you belong to this cult, you would have access to Earthworm, Enchant Instrument, Fertilize, Fired Well, and Unisonance. The caster of the spell must sit upon the ground in front of a fire with a specially enchanted instrument. Upon casting the spell, the instrument will resonate with the other instrument with which it is paired. The caster can then communicate back and forth musically over 15 kilometers per stacked point. Communication is carried out with the melodies played. That's kind of cool. Well, we've got the Acolytes and the Twin Priest. Cult of the Bloody Tusk, God of the Tusk Riders. The Cult of the Bloody Tusk is the religion of the Tusk Riders, a god who created them and fathered their ancient emperor on the swine goddess and the 12 kings on his granddaughters. The religion is extremely cruel and brutal and provides terrible magic to the worshippers at the cost of their victims' souls. So we've got rune magic such as Pain Tooth, Seal Wound, Appease Earth, Death Binding. We have Danandar, god of music, dance, and theater. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool liar with the face there. Danandar learned the arts of entertaining and mastery of illusion from the puppeteers, worshippers of his mother Tylenia, and from befriending Ermal. With the great darkness, he left the puppeteers to seek an end to the cosmic disharmony of chaos. His music survived the onslaught, and when the sun returned, Danandar greeted it with a song of triumph. So I would take a guess the rune magic we have is going to be musically, associated here. Group dance, harmonize, switch places. Okay, that's different. True tune. This spell must be cast upon a stringed musical instrument which glows from the spell's effects. Double the skill of anyone attempting to play that instrument. Iritha, the herd mother. Iritha is the mother of all cattle, including the herd beasts of Prax. She is a source of fecundity and rich milk for all hoofed and horned animals. Every farmer or herder calls her by whatever local animal they favor. The nomad herds of Prax and Pent are utterly dependent upon Iritha for their daily survival. Iritha is uniquely a woman's cult for all Praxian nomads, but she is also worshipped throughout Dragon Pass and beyond. Flamal, the father of vegetation. Flamal was born from a piece of living amber which grew upon the pleasant seashore which surrounded the spike. With various brides, Flamal begat all the many plant goddesses of the universe. He was killed and eaten by Zorak Zoran, and for this, the Earth Mother withdrew all her support from the world and weakened it prior to the war against chaos. When time began, Flamal was also reborn, bringing joy and fruitfulness to all in the world, whether they worshipped him or not. As you can see, just by taking a peek through, RuneQuest is a very unique setting. I talk about this all the time. It is a really, really unique fantasy world. And Greg Stafford was building upon this fantasy world for about 40 years. And it really shows. We have the grain goddesses. Each region of the world has its own special grain or land goddess. All are similar, and each has given birth to her own special grain. Marangor, the Earth Shaker. Marangor is the goddess of the earthquake. She represents the destructive side of the Earth Mother. Mostel, the Maker. Mostel is god of the dwarves. All dwarves but a few apostate sects follow this philosophy. Mostel is not a cult, but an entire socio-magical complex. Each dwarf has an assigned place in its hierarchy from birth. Mostel defines the dwarves' universe. It gives them personal immortality at the expense of illusionary freedom. Dwarves that keep at their ancestral tasks, doing the things that dwarves are meant to do, live forever, a powerful incentive to maintain this way of life. We have some dwarf spells, actually quite a few, such as Stabilize Mind, Cut Stone, Shape Stone, Command Dinosaur, Shape Iron. Pomalt, Earth King of Palmatella. Pomalt, the ruler of the southern continent, is the son of Geta, the primal earth. His duties encompass those which keep the land alive, and his worshippers are devoted to aiding their god, accepting their share of his responsibilities in their own worlds. They are the working men of the plains. It's like a good amount of page space devoted to that deity. Taikora Tek, goddess of the dead. Taikora Tek is the goddess of the underworld. She rules the dead and is worshipped by those who prepare the dead for burial and who prepare the sick and dying for death. Oloria, goddess of love. Oloria is love and fertility, one of the 8 primal runes of power that shaped Glorantha. She is the ancient cup from which the whole world was poured at the dawn of creation. She is growth and life. Oloria is worshipped by anyone wanting her blessings. Oloria represents love in all its forms: eros, agape, lust, platonic, etc. She is the source of those powers which bring things or people together. We have Voria, the Spring Virgin. Voria, the Spring Virgin, is the goddess of new beginnings, youth, and innocence. She is mostly worshipped by children. I think this might be our last. Yep, that is our last of the deities. And we have an index. All right, so there you go. So there is a look inside Cults of RuneQuest, the Earth Goddesses, from Chaosium Inc. Once again, this hardcover is available now, carries an MSRP of $37.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $18.99. So let's swing on over to the other camera. Of course, I'll have a review of the Earth Goddesses in the very near future. So that's it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this first look, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for joining me. And until I see you next time, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.